So I think as a coach, my overarching principles, I suppose, are we've got to look at what works for you. Like what works for me, what works for Matt, what works for anybody else I coach is not going to be the same.
Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
And there's plenty of plans. You know, we've got plans that you can go and you can purchase and use as a generic, for want of a better term, plan that would suit anybody. But I think as a coach, my overarching theme is it's got to suit you, your lifestyle, what race you're targeting as well. You know, whether that's one race, multiple races, and fit in with the time you've got available. You know, people say to me, how many hours do I need to be doing? And I think that's, again, it's a question of saying, well, how many hours have we got? We'll make that work for you. I don't think there's obviously it's difficult to do an Ironman on 6 hours a week, but equally, if that's what you want to try, then I will help guide you to that as best we can. Obviously, both being on the understanding that it's on the lower end. And I think, you know, people say what's more important as well, you know, swim, bike, or run. I think ultimately we're coaching triathlon. We want to become the fastest to the finish line. Do we work on strengths? Do we work on weaknesses? I think, again, how do we get you to the finish line quickest? If we've got 2 minutes to save on the swim and it's going to take an extra 3 hours, or we can put that same 3 hours into riding, because that's going to, you know, over an Ironman, for example, that's going to save you 10 minutes, 12 minutes, then it's a no-brainer. And that's not, again, that answer isn't going to be the same for everybody, because if somebody's not making a time cut on the swim, then obviously that has to be a priority, because we're not going to get anywhere unless you can get through the swim in the cutoff. You know, and then also, like, you know, people come to me and say, what sort of athletes do you coach? And I think, for me, I've always said I enjoy coaching because I enjoy the puzzle of working out how to make people quicker. That doesn't matter whether it's somebody trying to finish an Ironman in 17 hours or an Olympic distance in sub 2 hours. I've raced Olympic distance, I've raced sprint distance, draft legal racing, I've raced Ironman in 70.3. You know, I've got a fairly good understanding of all styles of racing and all distances. So I think I actually just quite enjoy finding the puzzle of how do we make this individual faster, what works for you in the time you've got available, and sort of going on that journey with you. It's not, you know, one of the things I say to the athletes when I first talk to everyone is it's not my way or no way. I will set, certainly from the start, I will set an idea, because we have to start somewhere, of how you're going to train. And then I think from there, you know, using your feedback, your ideas, you know, a lot of the time I say to athletes, is there anything you've done previous that you feel we're missing? Or do you want to add anything or change anything? So yeah, it's not just, I don't think as a coach you can have one, whatever it be, method, style, and it worked for everybody. Of course you're going to have a few sessions that you use for a few athletes, because, you know, there are some basics that you have to tick off. But equally, I think every athlete is individual, and finding what works for your physiology, for how we're going to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. I think that's a really big part of coaching that's quite often missed.